welcome to weekly PPPs at Zanete headquarters, that is Progress, Plans and Problems. I am Zanete and I do most of the knitting here, and as usual I'm wearing some of my work in progress that I want to talk about. So yeah, since last week I knew I won't have a lot of time for knitting and not that much has been happening. I have managed to add a few rows to the body of this cardigan that I already spoke about last time and the one time before. So it's a 3 strands of merino plus mohair in 3 different colors that create this fabric, and this is the wrong side of half brioche. I think because this is a top-down and seamless construction, I will be able to make it so that I could wear it on both sides. I love the right side of half brioche, and also love the wrong side. So it's like one of those depends on mood kind of things. But yeah, once again, the yarn is from Debonair Yarns, the merino, and the mohair is from the Knitting Shed, and they go together really well, and it's really warm, but I'll just leave it on just for fun. Because the next whip that I want to talk about, I still have the Pagan Sky Fingering Weight Edition sweater slash cardigan with me. I had hoped that I will have completed. And honestly, I have the button bands, I have secured the steek, and I have the button band with the buttonholes added, and I'm now working on the other button band, and literally there's one more row and I'm binding off, and I'll be cutting the steek and then I'll send it off. But yeah, so this is what's keeping me from marking this as done on my part. And then this is missing a sleeve, which is why I will be sending to my friend Liene, who kindly agreed to finish it for me because my wrist wasn't feeling too great due to the very tiny gauge that this colourwork sweater is. And here it is for your benefit. I'm gonna pile it on me. It's really warm and I can't open my window because I'm traumatized. You will never believe what happened while I was away. It's been like there's been no rain for almost 2 months, honestly. That's how long it feels without rain. And while I was away, there was such a downpour that the skylight that is on top of my in the ceiling in my office, I had left it open to just, you know, because no one's going to climb in, and it keeps the air fresh, and if it's not open, it's can get quite hot. But it's not even directly on top of my desk, but it was raining so hard, I guess it was coming in all directions, that it literally created a puddle on my desk, and my laptop was sitting in it for a while until my family discovered it. And now, yeah, despite all the attempts to get it dry and yeah, it won't turn on. So yeah, I have no laptop right now. That will set me back a little bit. Luckily my daughter kindly agreed to share hers for a little bit until I get the replacement. But yeah, which means I am so afraid to open the window in case I forget to close it and it starts raining. That had never happened to me before. The rain was so strong that it reached my desk. So yeah. But where was I? Why did I start talking about it? Oh right, yeah, because it was hot for me to hold this next to my body. Well, that's where I am. The steek is secured. The button bands are almost there, and I have already picked buttons. I'll show you. So the buttons will be, it's usually really difficult to pick buttons for my cardigans, but these ones are so, like, they were made for this, I think. Made for this project. Can you see? No, of course you can't because I can't hold them. So there's a little bit of that light, and the brown is pretty much exactly the brown, and that goes really nicely. The little hint of light goes really nicely with the pattern. Well, you'll see when you see when I finish. I picked them up in Dublin in January when we did our yarn crawl then, and I just picked a bunch of various sets of buttons, and these ones fit perfectly. And I have exactly 7, which is the number that is the most appropriate here. So that's gone really smoothly. Yeah, thank you so much for Farmer's Daughters Fibers for this amazing yarn. It is Squish Fingering in colourway Paul Newman, and Spillin tea as contrast color. There's a question, what size are the buttons? So, good question. I was gonna measure them because I don't remember what I bought, and why don't I do that now? Tape measure. And they're 20 millimeters, so 2 centimeters, or, well, in inches, that's just a little bit off inch. Probably like 3/4 of an inch. But I think the buttonholes will accept anything from 18 to 22 millimeters. So yeah, that's that project. Should have been where I am now 2 weeks ago, but oh well. But that's not it. I have a third project. I had a very long train ride this weekend, there and back, around 6 hours on the train in one direction, and yeah, same coming back, of course. So I had a lot of time to start another pair of socks because it's a very portable project. So there we are. I started the Valmiera memory socks in La Manna Merida. sorry Indra. We got this yarn in Valmiera in April, around Easter, when we had our little knitting get together with a bunch of Latvian knitters from around there, and we most of us picked up a couple of skeins to do the memory socks, and they are again toe-up socks. But this time there's 2, well, as usual, I have my sole gusset and my reinforced heel flap and a bit of short row shaping for the heel, and the foot is in one color, and there's color work that goes from the main color, and it will finish up with the contrast color. So the reason I have stopped this sock here is because I want to use as much yarn as reasonable and possible for this. But the funky part of this pair of socks is that Lene had an amazing idea. Said that I should knit the second sock with the colors inverted, and I have seen a few test knitters that I follow on Instagram do that for some of my my tests, or also some other designer work, and it looks really cool. So here I am with the other sock. So this way I will know how much of the green I need for this sock, and I will use the rest. Well, unless it goes into my thighs or something, then I'll stop. But yeah, I want to use as much as possible the leftovers to finish off this sock. And yeah, here I have completed the gusset, and I need to start the heel and do the color work. So yeah, that's fairly productive. And the one more thing I wanted to mention about these socks is that they will have an option to create the toe, anatomically, like an anatomical toe. I don't know if you can see, but the toe part, the increase is for the toe is less, like a shorter distance than the increases for the big toe. Sorry, the increases near the big toe is a shorter line than the ones for the rest of the toes, and it creates a little, yeah, it's more anatomical. I have noticed that the trapeze shaped socks for me don't quite fit nicely, and I think these will do really wonderfully for me. So yeah, that's an option. So you can either go traditional or you can experiment and do anatomic toe for these socks whenever they'll be ready for testing or released. Right, so that's all the story about my knitting projects. There has been zero spinning, so I'm not even gonna talk about that. The only other thing I wanted to tell everybody is that as of tomorrow, we are starting our summer solstice celebrations. In Latvia, the 23rd and 24th of June are like sacred dates because those are an international holidays when we mark the shortest night of the year, and no one goes to sleep, and they do crazy things like jump over a bonfire and eat lots of cheese with caraway seeds and all sorts of things. So we will be celebrating that at Zanete Knits with quite a few things. First of all, we'll be running a Knit in Nature challenge where we'll be posting photos of us knitting in nature. Nature is a big part, and especially around this time where people are connecting to it and giving to it and taking from it, and this symbiotic relationship is can't find the right words, but it is important to recognize it, and it's in everyone's forefront. Yeah, great use of big words that I'm not even sure they match the meaning that I want to convey. But yeah, nature is important, so we'll be knitting in nature. We'll be also running a proper competition or a challenge for the best and most impressive flower crown, because that's something that we all do. Girls make flower crowns from any wildflowers that they wear on the night of the 23rd, and men make, well, mostly the women make for men or whatever. I'm sure there are also men who make for themselves oak leaf big wreaths that they put on their heads, and yeah, everyone's walking around with a bit of meadow on their heads. So, and yeah, because any flowers are good for that, we will be running a challenge for a prize. And there will be a prize. Prize will be a gift voucher to use in your favorite knitting shop, provided they do gift vouchers or whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. And last but not least, we'll also be running a sale on all self-published patterns until the end of the week. Those of you who are subscribers, the discount code will be landing in your inbox and is a little bit more. Those for everyone else, it will be announced tomorrow through our social media channels. So yeah, I hope that you will join us. Oh, and there will be daily quizzes about on the traditions of Latvian and summer solstice celebrations. So if you are keen to learn something, some new facts about our culture, then check out our stories. We'll be posting a daily quiz. And that's, I think, it for now. Yeah, I look forward to sharing a lot of Latvian traditions with you over the next coming days, and trying to do knitting in the heat. Thanks so much. See you next time.